Hi y'all. Alright, I've been trying to get this video made for a while. Finally getting it done. I've had questions about this, so I thought I would just make a video and hopefully answer all questions. If you still have a question, don't hesitate to ask. This is something I try to keep on hand at all times. This is something that really help me hit my protein goals. My goal is definitely more than 100 grams a day. And so what I do is I just open it through the top in the trash. 1 container of non-fat Greek yogurt. Use whatever you want. There's 5 servings in here. And then I take, typically when I'm gonna make the container like this, I'm not gonna like make up some individual ones. I typically just use vanilla protein powder, and use whatever you like or can handle. Obviously THM's is great. I can't really do the optimized stuff very well. My stomach, it really messes with my stomach, so I do a different brand, and it's not on plan. I use Rise Marshmallow, which is the vanilla, and I do 3 scoops of their protein powder. But use whatever you're comfortable using. This is just my personal body's preference, I guess. It does not affect me negatively. I think I just have a sensitive stomach. Anyway, enough about that. And these are bigger scoops, and so this has 25 grams of protein per scoop. Now, I do vanilla mostly because it's kind of a general, a flavor that you can pair with lots of things, if that makes sense. And then I've got some ideas that I will show you things that I do. Okay. You can try the whisk. I feel like the whisk isn't the best to really get it mixed up, because it will get pretty thick. And if you find that you don't like how thick it ends up being, thin it with water or milk of choice. When I'm done, I will take some pictures and then I will post my numbers, because this is a THM fuel pool. It is nice and light, and I don't really ever have this as just my meal. Some busy mornings I do, because I meet my friend. I think it's about to fall apart in my hands. I've not had good luck with whisk, so if you have some suggestions, I would take them. I bought this one from Walmart.com, and I think it's already falling apart. It feels like it, and this is not even that incredibly thick. So it's just like almost looks like a vanilla pudding a little bit. It kind of smells it, but you can smell that it's a little bit some yogurt in there. All you do is you just mix until it's completely mixed in, no lumps. I don't remember if I've ever made this with a different protein powder or not, as in like the mix, the whole container. And that is it. It just takes a couple minutes, if that, and I have lots of protein to go, and this will last for more than a week. This doesn't, it's not like, your chicken you cook up or something like that, and then, you've got to eat it within so many days. Okay, and then I just put it back in the container. I love doing the cottage cheese because everything stays in the container, but there's no way I can successfully mix up the yogurt with the protein powder without making a mess inside this container. Maybe if it wasn't full. Okay, I'm about to stop doing this. You don't need to watch me put this back in the container. Okay, so some of the ways that I add variety to the vanilla yogurt is, so I had chia pudding Monday, and I made it Sunday when I did my meal prep, which I hope I can do that video today as well. I just took the frozen blueberries and put it in this little bowl and stuck it in the fridge next to my chia pudding, and then that next morning I dumped it in. I don't think that's necessary because it didn't release a whole lot of liquid. I was worried that it would have too much liquid, and I didn't know the consistency of the chia pudding. You can do that if you want, if you don't want to put, actually that's what you should do, because otherwise you would put it into your yogurt. Thinking through here. All right, so I would just put any frozen fruit you want in like a little container and just stick it in the fridge, and the next morning you should be good to go. And it is not really berry season right now, so frozen for me is the best way to go. Strawberries, blueberries, cherries, a berry medley, those are all great. Another option is I've got pumpkin pie spice. You could mix in a little pumpkin into this. Apple pie spice, and I'm going to show in my next video what I do with this with my apple and my yogurt. You get different extracts. I love almond and cherry together. That's one of my favorite flavors. Coconut. I love coconut, so add a little coconut to your vanilla. You could use some bananas, some mango, whatever you think would go well with. I love coconut, so this is one of my favorites. And again, because we've done vanilla, all these flavors go just fine with the vanilla. Caramel, this is so full. I'm not a big caramel fan. It has to like be real caramel for me to really like it. So I'm kind of apprehensive about the caramel. And then what else did I pull out? And maple. Maple is also a great extract to go with all of this. I like to do bananas. Those are super quick. So I can add some to my yogurt. And then I need carbs. So for me personally, I need carbs for breakfast. And then I typically eat carbs for lunch. And I don't care if they are crossovers, because I'm about to go to the gym and live as heavy as I can 5 days a week. And that's just how I do it. And then, so these little organic brown crisp rice things are great to add a little crunch. Another option would be some of the Purely Elizabeth vanilla. I think this one's on plan. Felt like the ingredients were pretty good. Another option is cut up an apple, and then I add some brown swerve. I add some apple pie spice and a little water. There has been so many accidents out here lately. A man died right down the road Monday, and we live near a firehouse, and it's just, I don't know what is going on, but they just have been going all day today. Sorry. And I heat that in the microwave to make it soft, and then you can add it to your yogurt, mix in some of these extracts or the spices. And so it's not just always plain vanilla yogurt. Now I will take and make individual like little jelly jars or whatever kind of container and mix up something like this with different protein powder, like a peanut butter protein powder. I love peanut butter and banana, and Rise has a great peanut butter flavor, excuse me. So a little peanut butter protein powder, some banana, and some crisp rice, and that makes me happy. These are just some of the ways that I do this, but if nothing else, I will take 1/3 of a cup of this and add it to a meal that might need a little extra help in protein to help round it out. I really try, the minimum for me personally is 25 grams is my minimum goal. And by having this in the fridge, it really, I don't have to, I just do this once, like, I don't know, every 2 weeks or so. I don't have this every day, excuse me. And my final tip, one that took me way too long to figure out, is I put on the lid, and even on the side, with protein powder. Because what I was doing is I was opening the fridge and sniffing them, because one time we almost had vanilla protein powder yogurt with a savory dinner. If you have any thoughts or questions, or even some variations, feel free to comment. I am open to ideas. I only know what's in my head, and I would love to hear what ideas you might have to make this an even broader flavor. So it's not just, anyway, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to try really hard to put all this away and then do a little quick meal prep video that I did Sunday. Bye, thanks for watching.